There's so many humiliating things that I've done over the years, especially because I've been a Swiftie since I was 12, 13.
Being a Swiftie is a humiliating experience.
Oh, the humiliation never ends for me, brother.
We can't be doing that.
No.
We can't be doing that. And
It's just not right. I don't know. You know, all these conversations about like, is fan culture in terms of like going to concerts worse now? I think it is, but that's not to say that everybody was a perfect angel back in the day.
They weren't.
They were not.
They really weren't.
That's sociopathic, Zach. That's really, really crazy. Like, that's freaky.
Welcome back to Evolution of a Snake. I'm Zach.
And I'm Madeline.
And today we are reacting to your most humiliating Swiftie moments. Being a Swiftie is a humiliating experience.
Oh, it really is. There's so many humiliating things that I've done over the years, especially because I've been a Swiftie since I was 12, 13. Oh, the humiliation never ends for me, brother. If you became a Swiftie when you were like 25, you're so lucky.
Yeah, you don't understand.
I did a lot of embarrassing stuff, and a lot of it is like kind of cataloged, documented. Yeah.
I'm just lucky that we didn't have TikTok when through the eras of like debut to 1989. I am so glad that everything I posted was contained embarrassingly on tumblr.com, a platform that frankly no one uses anymore.
Yeah, a lot of these kids are going to get a rude wake-up call when they realize that everything they posted on TikTok is forever.
You posted yourself scream crying, listening to a surprise song outside the stadium.
Yep.
You're going to regret that.
That was you, and everybody saw it. Your mom saw it. Your grandpa saw it.
You have to live with that. Barack Obama saw it.
Barack Obama saw it. I think everybody in the world saw that video, actually, now that you bring it up. And that, I would never recover from that.
That's a quintessential humiliating Swiftie moment.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's like humiliating in a haha at yourself way, but a lot of the times it's like you are the butt of the joke. Like the Swifties screaming on Cornelia Street, doing cartwheels.
It's the cartwheels in front of the Cornelia Street apartment. That's one of my all-time favorite. And then the one where they're like outside somebody's apartment and they're singing, "I never walk Cornelia Street again." And somebody opens their window and goes, "Shut up! Go sing and dance outside your own bungalow."
And they're like, right. Ooh. They're right.
They were right. They were completely
They are right. For
right.
That. Yep. Swifties don't know how to act. That, however, leads us to good content. So
it
thank
certainly
you.
Does. Thank you all of you humiliating people out there who allowed us to make this video today. Thank you.
And before we get any further, we have to remind you that the Snares Tour, Evolution of a Snake, live in the United States in 2025 is happening. It's actually happening sooner than you think. And we're going to New York, we're going to DC, we're going to LA, we're going to Chicago, we're going to Boston, we're going to Wisconsin, we're going to Nashville and Atlanta, we're going to San Francisco, we're going to Seattle. And we have low ticket warnings for New York City, DC, and LA. Those shows are going to sell out expeditiously. So you better get your ass up and go to evolutionofsnake.com and get your ticket, or you will miss out on the greatest live event in history.
And you're going to be really sorry. That'll be your embarrassing Swiftie moment, that you didn't go to the Snares Tour. Period.
Exactly. And you thought the Eras Tour was over? Well, you're going to have a theme for each Snares show, so you can dress up in your outfit and be humiliating once again.
That's that on that.
And we can humiliate you with live Phone a Snake.
Yep.
Where you will tell us stories like these on the spot.
Spotlight is going to be on you. The mic
camera on you. Mic in your face. Two snakes ready to bite. Ready to bite. Why don't we start with something a little, I don't know, aggressive?
Hi, snakes. Zach and Madeline calling in from Boston, a longtime fan. I'm so excited to see you in person. I've got my ticket. So my most embarrassing Taylor moment. I have been to every show at Gillette since the Fearless days, go back. And I have this memory from going to the Speak Now shows when she was still able to walk through the crowd safely. And we all knew it was coming. And my friend and I absolutely ran to the barricade. We were on the floor to get to her. And I was there, and I did, in fact, end up pushing a small child out of the way in order to be at the barricade and touch her hand as she went by. And I did, in fact, get scolded by said child's mother for doing so. And, you know, do I really have regrets about it? No, not so much, because I got to be a foot away from my queen, see her in real life, and touch her hands, and it was magical. But I do look back on that now as a full-grown adult, 32, with my own kids who are probably around that age, and it does, you know, make me cringe a bit to look back on that moment in my.
Not I'm a mom now too. Not now I'm now. That was my. What if that was your daughter? Now you can answer that question.
Understand. I think honestly, I think she would understand. That is a quintessential experience, actually, as a Swiftie who's like a normal age, is battling with the little girls for who can have the best time of their life that night.
Well, when I went to the Red Tour in Fargo, North Dakota, mind you, I went to the Red Tour, and you know, at the end of, what is it, State of Grace, where she hands the hat off, It's a beautiful moment. It's up on the Megatron. We're all watching it. Wow, this is so great. We watched, handed it to a little girl, and a big hand, probably an 18 or 19-year-old girl, snatched it right out of her hand, and then the camera cut away, and nobody saw anything else. I think about that all the time.
Now, see,
I would do the same thing.
Exactly,
you don't deserve it. You don't know what you're getting.
You don't know the words to
don't know
State
what
of
you're
Grace.
getting.
Give me a bar from the bridge, 8-year-old. You don't know. I'm going to ask you, 8-year-old. Love is a ruthless game unless you play it good and right. What does that mean to you?
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know. You don't know. What's a track 5? You don't know. You shouldn't have the hat. And this was before the hat was only for little girls. Okay. Back in the day, the hat was for whoever was in the front row. Sometimes it was a little girl, sometimes it wasn't. And I think that it's survival of the fittest when the hat comes into the crowd. I always thought, like, if you get the hat, are you not just sitting there like this for the whole show? You should be. Yeah, because a Swiftie will come and whoosh.
It's like getting the ball at the baseball game. You know, you catch the ball, somebody rips it right out of your paw. That's what it is.
You shove it up your ass to keep it safe for the rest of the show. You really
good
need
luck.
To.
It's actually
you honestly should just leave.
It's the curse of Raw when you get the hat, because then a target is painted on you. You have to leave the show immediately with your pride while you have it.
You just got to get up and go.
Yep.
I feel that pushing a child out of the way, I don't feel bad.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
And that's character building for that child. They need to learn that sometimes you don't always get what you want, and you need to fight for what you want. So if you got pushed, what you really should do is stand back up and throw an elbow.
You know, this is why she started doing the hat the way that she started doing the hat, where that is not a possibility, babe.
Only for little girls.
It is only for the little girls, and you cannot come in with your 25-year-old body and start beating up children to get a hat.
It causes too many problems, because they would do it. They would do it.
Yeah, especially now. I don't know. You know, all these conversations about, like, is fan culture in terms of, like, going to concerts worse now? I think it is. But that's not to say that everybody was a perfect angel back in the day.
They weren't.
They were not.
They really weren't. I've had many an instance at a show where I've behaved badly, including when I was young. When I was 11, you know what I did at Avril Lavigne to get front row at the Best Damn Tour? I brought a pen and I stabbed my way through the crowd. As in, I just started sticking the pen into people's arms, and they would go, ow. And I was little enough, I would wriggle through forward and forward and forward, and I got front row.
That's sociopathic, Zach. That's really, really crazy. Like, that's freaky.
I wanted to be front row for Girlfriend, and I got it. It was a blunt pen. It was a ballpoint pen. He just
confessed to stabbing people so that he could see Girlfriend. Yeah. Hey, you. I don't like your girlfriend. Front row.
I was 11. Okay. I was 11, and the people I was stabbing were older than me.
Silent. I am silent. That's crazy.
You know, I'm just sharing to make this caller feel better about that.
I'm hearing you. I'm seeing you.
Would I, in this day and age, push a child out of the way? It's not off the table. No. I would say generally, I would try not to, but if push came to shove.
Well, I'm trying to, I now even like to go to like shows. I mean, I'll go to a show and I'll like stand there and I'll be in the crowd or like whatever, but I'm not, I'm past the point where I'm like, I'm going to fight my way to the front. I did that once. I did that Well, I've done it a couple of times, and it's just like it's so stressful, and you have to fight people. It's like, you
And
know
then you have to
what?
stand next to the people that you fought. That really is more
Yeah,
the issue, is that like you bring the negativity into the room and then you have to sit with the negativity for the show.
yeah. It's not for me, man. I'm up in the balcony. I'm up in the balcony. I'm looking down upon everybody, and I'm just rocking.
I'm
That's
saying
it.
attack the children. That's the guess. That's what I would like to take away from this. Let's go to another one about bad behavior at a Taylor Swift concert.
Hi, Snakes. It's my first time phoning in, coming to you from Chicago. I'm so excited to see you at the Snares tour next year. But both of my embarrassing stories from the Eras tour have to do with me embarrassing myself in front of the youths. Hello, my fellow kids. The first one was in Detroit last year. My friend and I brought in a couple of Pink Whitney shooters. We weren't trying to get wasted, but drinks inside the stadium are really expensive. So we brought in some shooters. I was making friends with the girl next to me. Obviously, I would not have done this if I thought that she was underage. I thought maybe there was a possibility that she was like 19 or 20, but I'm not the feds, okay? So I offered her a shooter, and keep in mind, she had like bleach blonde hair, like down to her waist. She had a full beat on. She was wearing like 4-inch heeled boots, and she turns to me and she's like, "I'm 14. Literally take me out back and shoot me." I was so mortified. Good for her for saying no, though. And then I had to stand next to her for the whole concert, obviously. And then the second one was on Indie Night 1. I reached into my bag in the merch line. I was trading with a kid who was probably like 9 or 10 behind me, and I just reached into my bag and pulled out a random friendship bracelet. And I accidentally gave him one that said Real Legacy, and I didn't realize. And then a few minutes later, he tapped me. And he was like, "Why did you give me this?" And his dad was standing right there. Once again, mortified. So those are my stories.
I'm saying you take what you get and you don't throw a fit, little kid.
You
It
get
says
what
Real
you
Legacy.
don't get upset.
Have you ever heard Maroon? Are you telling me that you're listening to Maroon clean
obviously
version?
not. Hasn't
That's
heard it before.
crazy. That's
Now,
insane.
what I won't accept is modifying my behavior to accommodate children at the Eras tour. Is not my job. What did Nicki Minaj say? I'm not their parents when she was asked about what people think about her being an irresponsible role model. We're not their parents. So if you ask me for a friendship bracelet and my friendship bracelet says the patriarchy, unfortunately, that's what you're getting. And if you don't like it, well, that's not even my problem. Go trade it with someone else. They're given to be given away. Do you realize that?
They're given to be given away. And that's all there is to it.
Not why did you give this to me?
Why did you give this to me? Children don't understand that. What do you want it to say?
The confrontation of that.
Kisses?
Well, I wanted to say F you. I wanted to say you suck. That was the intention.
That story about trying to give a 14-year-old a shooter is really delicious. And also it is kind of impressive that she was like, no. It's like when I was 14, I would have been like, yep.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can I have another one?
Yeah.
Well, I think these days as well, the children, when I was 14, I did not look old. I looked like I was 14 years old. I really did. I just looked young. These days, the teens are like looking older. They're looking like adults. It's kind of sad. That's because they're getting drunk elephant at Sephora when they're 9.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, they really do look a lot older. I can't tell how old anybody is. Some of it is like, once you get to a certain age, you literally cannot tell. To me, every now and then, it's like you see a kid, and you're like, I know that that's a kid, but why do they look like they're 23?
This is the person.
This is the person
that is 23, and we don't know anything about it. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be drinking at the Eras tour as a choice that we never made, actually, now that I think about it. In all our time at the Eras tour, we never drank. I think maybe actually there was one night in Dublin that I had a drink before with Rob, Discord mod, you might know him, social media extraordinaire. He and I had like a pint, I think, before the Eras tour, but that was it. I wasn't drinking at the show. I can't be doing that.
I think... Did I have a drink on London Night too? I can't remember.
I think we might have had drinks. We might have had a beverage. Not me telling lies. I think we might have had a beverage.
I've had a drink.
We did, and you drank my drink. I gave you the rest of my drink because I didn't like it. It was like a spritzer of some
I
description.
I wouldn't have done that, so I don't know if that happened. I think you gave that to your friend.
Oh yeah, maybe I gave that to Holly instead.
That wouldn't have happened. Maybe Mason drank it.
We had a beverage.
I've never been drunk at Taylor. I don't know. It just doesn't seem worth it because then you have to go to the
I
bathroom a
can't.
lot.
And
Honestly,
also, you don't
everything about it
remember.
sounds fine, other than I would
Mhm.
have to go to the bathroom a lot, and it's just not worth it to me. So
And also, you
that's all
don't
there is to
remember
it.
what's gone on, and I'm committing everything to memory at the Taylor Swift show. So
So that's all
that's
there
what's
is to it.
happening. All right, let's do this one. Killed me. The ones that weren't about the Eras tour were really sending
Hi,
me.
Snakes. This is Jessica. I can't believe 2024 is almost over, and I can't believe I'll get to see you guys on tour in 2025. So my most embarrassing Swifty memory, it's 2017. The Instagram post has dropped. We know that the Look What You Made Me Do single is coming out. This is the summer before my junior year of college, and I started a new program at school, and so I had a lot of new friends at this time in August, and none of them were really Swifties, but I made everybody stay up till midnight because I was so excited for the new single, for Look What You Made Me Do. Like, I couldn't wait to listen to it, and so I forced everybody to stay up till midnight with me, and I pressed play, and it was truly so embarrassing because they already weren't huge fans of her. And as much as Look What You Made Me Do has become an iconic song, one of her best from Reputation, it did not feel like that in the moment. And I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. And this was before the music video came out. Because once the music video came out, I understood the vision. But at this point, it was just that lyric video. And everybody thought I was insane. And nobody appreciated that I made them stay up to listen to that song. So that was what was most embarrassing to me.
That is the worst possible period of time you could have forced your friends to stay up till 12 for a Taylor Swift song. It
was better than me. I'll tell you that for free. I will tell you that for free. That was crazy. I did the same thing. I think I listened to it. I was at the bar.
Where else are you ever?
And especially in 2017. And then I left. I literally went home to listen to it, and then I went back to the bar. I was like, "This is." I liked it, but I will acknowledge that at first listen, if you're not, especially if you're not a fan, it was jarring. It was jarring.
It was also
and
unlike anything she had ever done before. It was really not even remotely like anything else. And I was kind of with her until the chorus started. And then I was like, what the hell is this? It came out at like 5 a.m. Dublin time. So I woke up, started playing it, and literally went, whatever that means. Went back to sleep. I was like,
it's too much to
intake.
This,
I need to take. Once the video came out, everything clicked. But that was a dark period of time. It was like a week between the video and the song, and everybody actually hated it. It was reviled. And she was in a bad spot in the public anyway, so whatever she put out was going to be received poorly.
right.
But it seemed like, and obviously Look What You Made Me Do is intentionally polarizing, but people really hated that song. Like, critics hated it, her haters hated it, the fans were kind of like, what is that?
I don't really know what this is. I've never forgot when, of all people on earth, Perez Hilton spoiled
Demon.
Look What You Made Me Do. Can you imagine if you didn't know that she was going to say that? I would have shit my bricks out. I still kind of shat my bricks when she said it, just like hearing her actually say that. But he spoiled the best part of the song.
I thought it wasn't real. And then when I heard it, I was like, again, Perez, you'll be getting another email soon.
You'll be receiving another scathing email from the Swiftologist, and you won't like it.
You won't like it.
I'm glad
he also posted things. He also posted little pictures of the gears. Do you remember in the Look What You Made Me Do music video? He posted from the vault scene of her breaking into the Spotify streaming place. He had like weird insider access, and then she invited him to the Reputation tour to meet him, and it was like, well, did you feed him this information?
Maybe. Actually, it's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah,
but I guess she wanted to soften the blow.
But he wasn't like at this point he was hugely irrelevant. Like, the news that he leaked didn't travel very far because no one listens to Perez Hilton, except for the Swifties who have their ear to the ground on any potential news. I remember when we heard they were going to players going to play. That also sent us into mental breakdown.
Did Perez Hilton leak that?
I don't think so. I think a radio station accidentally leaked that. They said horns and they said players going to play, and we said, huh?
Not on my watch. Huh? Not on my watch.
Nope.
Not in my town.
Not in this city. Not in this Taylor Nation.
Not in my backyard.
What nation you're talking
I'll tell
about.
you what.
But that was, I mean, truly, getting all your friends just to wait and stay up. I can only imagine the looks on their face. It reminds me of one time I was at a birthday party when I was like 14, and it was people that I kind of knew but didn't really know. And it was this rich girl who did the party at like a country club, and she was having a real issue getting everybody to dance. You know, teenagers when they're like self-conscious, and adults were there, so there was no alcohol and it was like light outside. So we were all dressed in like fancy clothes, and she was trying to get everybody to dance and party. And she was like, "Can you tell the DJ to put on a fun song?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll tell him to put on a Taylor Swift song." And this was what, like, about when Red came out. So I was at this party and they said, "Go put a fun song on." And I was thinking, it's the Red era. Let's do We Are Never. Let's do I Knew You Were Trouble, 22, something to get the crowd going, right? So I said to the DJ, "Can you play Taylor Swift?" He said, "No problem." Even You Belong With Me or Love Story would have got the crowd started. Do you know what song he played? Mine.
I
Well,
You are the best thing. Oh, yes.
to dance at a party.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking 22. So basically what happened was all the girls who said, by the way, they were making fun of Taylor at the time. They were saying Taylor sucks. They all got on that dance floor and sang their hearts out to Mine. And all the boys stood by the sides going, "What the hell is going on?
They don't know the
This is
sacred
not
text.
for us."
Mine,
And I said,
greatest
"It's
song
not
ever
for
made."
you." And I was
I
the
haven't-
lone gay in the middle leading the choir.
You know, I haven't listened to that song in a hot second. Now that you reminded me of this, I have not listened to that song in months. We need to put Mine on. Mine,
Oh.
here it comes.
Mine.
You are the best thing.
And you know what? Taylor's version, better than you think it is. It really is.
Interesting.
That is a good re-recording. I recommend you revisit it.
Revisit it. So I
Mhm.
shall.
Speak Now
Time to
Taylor's
take a
version
walk down
revisited
Speak Now Lane.
without tonsillitis.
Yes, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Actually, some of those songs, some of those re-recordings, I have not heard since I haven't had
It's
tonsillitis.
because you were traumatized.
I
And
saw
some
a
of them are
video.
pretty good.
I saw a video of like the Speak Now episode, the Speak Now TV episode, and you can see in my face that I am not well.
I can't
am
believe
not
you were
a
even able
well
to do
person.
it.
It was crazy.
But we had no choice. That
We
was
had
our
no
year of
choice.
slavery to Taylor
Yep.
Swift.
Mhm.
It was get your ass up and react.
Yep.
And we did.
And we did.
And you should all thank us for that. So
And you should.
there you go.
Thank you.
All right, here's one that took place at our favorite evening, Chicago Night One.
My favorite little memory from the Eras tour was the fact that, first of all, I was at Chicago Night 1, so I was there for the always posting speech. And my
Yes.
friend that was there, she is lesbian. And she was sobbing at the Champagne Problems speech. And whenever I asked her like why she was sobbing, she literally said, she was like, "Taylor is literally like my hero. When it comes to this, she was the person who made me confident enough to feel like I could,
Rock on, queen.
come out of the closet and whatever." And I was just sitting there and I was really trying not to laugh because I was like, because I already was like clocking the fact I was like, always posting Taylor. I posted twice. And I'm always posting about Ginny and Georgia, obviously. Anyways, I was just like, that like gagged me. And I still think about that to this day because I was like, that's so funny. Like Taylor was the one? All right, slay. Why not?
Many people actually around us were having the same reaction.
Oh, they were clapping and cheering. They were acting like, here she is, Mother Teresa, risen again. She, the queen of the
Tearing
gays.
up.
Here she comes.
Gloria Steinem
Gloria
fighting for our
Steinem.
rights.
You know, just taking the stage, changing everything right in front of our eyes. And Zach and I were like, you guys know that this is like not.
This isn't real, right? You guys know that this is literally, we're in North Korea and this is Kim Jong-un doing his propaganda about how he's the greatest leader of all time.
I just the
You
way
have
that
that,
he
like-
said, my friend who is well,
She's like,
she's a
lesbian or whatever.
lesbian. It's like, okay.
Well, it
Well,
probably
yes.
did mean a lot to her.
And I support her 100%. You
Maybe
know what?
it did. Some of the gays were in the crowd, me looking around going, always
And
posting.
I don't really see I don't really see you marching. You know what I mean? Like, where have you been?
Well, you
Is it-
can't now because every time you do, you get accused of being a lesbian yourself. So you kind of got yourself into a bit of a bind. She's like, how many times can I say I'm an ally? Ally. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. You know who's always posting? The Gaylors. They're always
Oh,
posting.
yes, now there's somebody who's always posting. And you know what? There you go. Post away, my
That's
friends.
it.
Post away, my friends.
Thank you for sharing that gorgeous, gorgeous message with us. Now, the next one is from Bestie Sultan. And this isn't really about Taylor Swift, but I have to share it with the audience because Sultan always silences
Hi,
us.
parents. Long time no hear. How are you, bitches? I missed you. Anyway, let's get right into it. It's not really a Swifty story, it's a Swifty adjacent story. It's a Tay daughter story. I was at the Guts tour, and while you're waiting at your seat, waiting for the artist to come on, you go on your phone. And I was on my phone on Grinder, as one does when they are a gay. And I was looking for some meat. I wanted some meat. I'm so sorry. I needed some protein. And so eventually this one person texted me, and we planned to meet in the bathroom during So American because it was So American, Jealousy, Jealousy, and Happier. 3 songs that we both did not want to see. We did not care about. Girl, when I tell you the pictures he had on his profile was like from 3 years ago, when I walked into that stall in the middle of the Guts tour, I was shook. I was so disappointed that I was taken away from experiencing Olivia for this raggedy man. And I was like, I did this to myself. I really did. And so I left him high and dry, blue balls and all, after like 2 minutes of block. And yeah.
On Grinder
Silence
at the Olivia
every
Rodrigo
time.
show, meeting your Grinder hookup in the bathroom at the Olivia Rodrigo show.
Well, this is what
mean-
happens when you try and get
I
stuffed
mean-
at the little girls show. This is the little girl parade. We can't be looking for dick and balls
I mean,
out at the Guts tour. We can't be doing that.
No.
We can't be doing that. And
It's just not right.
it's not right.
Mm-mm.
And during So American as well, I was like,
And then
this
when he
this
was
ain't
like,
right.
I can't believe that I left the Olivia Rodrigo tour, and it's like, who made you?
You did this to yourself. Sultan, we cannot be going on
No.
Grinder at the Olivia Rodrigo show.
No.
You do Grinder after the show at the hotel.
Yeah, what's wrong with after the show?
You're at the little girl parade. What is making you want to find meat at the little girl parade?
At the Guts tour.
This is the American Girl store.
Hunting for meat. And the thing is, I know you live in LA. It's not like it's not out
it's
there.
available. It's
not like
available
it's
for
not
you.
out there.
You don't need.
And that's really something.
You deserve
No,
to
you
get
deserve it.
catfished at the Guts tour.
I want to
You
know in
deserve
what
it.
way. I'm curious to know in what way was he not like his pictures? Was he
Mhm.
older? Did he grow a beard?
Mhm.
Was he just like not as buff as he used to be? Like,
Was
I need
it
to
good
know.
angles?
It was
and
bad
not
enough
bad
that
angles.
you when
well,
you
bathroom
were
stall lighting is
craving
unforgiving.
meat, you were craving meat so bad before that you were on Grinder at Olivia Rodrigo. It was so bad that you
And you know
walked into
what?
the room and you said, "I'm not hungry for meat anymore."
If you were texting someone also arranging this, because you guys clearly had a conversation, you were talking about what your favorite songs were, when you were going to hang out. So I'm saying, if you were on your phone arranging all of this during the show, why wouldn't you, when Olivia Rodrigo is on stage and she's singing all the time, I'm grateful all the time, why are you on your phone saying, meet me at midnight in the bathroom? I wonder, this
but here's the
definitely
thing.
happened at the Eras tour. This definitely happened at least one show of the Eras tour, for sure.
But it's like the amount of planning that goes into what, because you have to say, which section are you in? I'm in this section. Okay, what's the closest bathroom to us? Meet me in the bathroom.
you have
that's
to
closest
find
to
the
here.
bathroom.
You have to like do all this. That's what you were doing at Olivia.
You paid your money
Rodrigo.
to do a Grinder hookup that was bad, which you could have done for free on your own time.
Did he think
Now-
it's safer to do it at Olivia Rodrigo Guts tour? I don't think it is.
Well, I would say that
think
your
it is.
available options would not be, you're not going to get the most gorgeous meat varieties.
And who
at
is
the Guts
this
tour.
guy? Who is this, I guess,
Also on Grindr.
unappealing man? Who's at Olivia Rodrigo alone enough that he can just go into the bathroom with you.
Your first sign should have been that he was on Grindr at the Guts tour, which should have then triggered a response in you to look inside and say, why am I on Grindr at the Guts tour?
When he first started telling the story, I thought it was going to be like, we met up after the show or something like that.
No.
We met up in the bathroom during
So
jealousy. Are you out of your mind? No.
That was wrong.
No,
that was wrong.
No, it was wrong, and it wasn't right.
And it seems like he doesn't regret doing it.
No,
he just
he
regrets
doesn't.
that it wasn't a hot guy.
He doesn't. He has no remorse. Absolutely none.
I guess some people just don't get Godlivia Godrigo. They don't understand.
They're not really there to see the real, the real meat of the matter. They're there to see
want some real meat? Look on stage. Do you think this happened? Well, okay. On one hand, I'm like, there was a huge influx of gays into Taylor's fandom for EOAS specifically. So like, surely there could have been some sort of Sultan behavior.
Well, now there could have also been some heterosexual behaviors in those bathrooms. I'll tell you that for free.
That's way more likely than you think.
Oh,
like
a
people
lot
that just
more
ran,
likely.
and there were a lot of locals at the EOAS tour. A lot of people that just came. I don't know how the hell they got tickets, but they just came to hear Love Story and You Belong With Me. And I'm sure that got some straight people real riled up.
I'm sure that there were people who were there to drink chelada and eat their popcorn and have their hot dog and then get a little bit too drunk.
The EOAS is one of those things where nobody wants to leave their seat. Generally, it's not one of those shows where people are like coming and going. And if they go to the bathroom, you see people literally running to the bathroom.
Yeah, I remember during the first run of the EOAS tour in North America, when I went during the 7 monologue, it was me and at least 10 other girls from my section sprinting up the stairs into the bathroom. It was like it wasn't too many girls to the point where you couldn't get into the bathroom. It was like
the people who knew the show.
Yeah, it was the people who knew the show. It was amazing.
And you know what, Sultan, I try not to judge, but I have to judge.
That was wrong. No, it wasn't right.
Okay, here's another one from the EOAS tour.
Hey snakes, long time listener, first time caller. My embarrassing EOAS tour story is that I started the 1, 2, 3, let's go, bitch, like 10 seconds early. So Taylor's up there singing, just for the best. My reputation's never been worse, so emails like me for me. And then I go 1, 2, and then she keeps on singing. We can't make, and I'm so embarrassed. I was there with my sister, a few of our friends, but I just remember standing there, red-faced in the dark. Probably not the most embarrassing EOAS tour story. That was pretty minor.
That happened to so many people. There was always a rogue like way too early. But some people were doing it like as Delicate started. And then I noticed some people were trying to do it throughout as well. And I was like, see, you just don't know. You don't know the lay of the land.
The time that I did it, it was Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Because I didn't realize she did like a build up to Did Were You Sent By Someone?
Oh, so you were ready to go. You were ready to go.
And I was like, oh.
You were like, oops, scratch that.
That wasn't me who did that.
Never mind.
Come on, I'm a Swifty. I know what she's doing.
I have to say I'm one of those people that like memorizes all the chants. So I have to say I was a hater. When people did that, I would side eye them. I'd be like, you're a flop for going too early.
1, 2, 3. Picture it in my head.
I know, and it's why it's the worst time to do that, because it's quiet. That's like the one part of the show.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very quiet and everybody's waiting to do the 1, 2, 3. So people also are quiet. And if you're close enough to the front, Taylor could 100% hear that. So let's just hope that you were a few rows back. There's actually another story which is similar to that one, which I loved. So let's share
Hi,
this.
Snakes. This is Danny. So my humiliating Swifty story is I live in LA and I went to the Tortured Poets pop-up, which is at the Grove. I highly recommend when you come to LA to go to the Grove. It's an outdoor mall, I guess is the best way to explain it.
We know the Grove.
It was an outdoor area and they were blasting Taylor Swift music. We love that. We love to hear it. And there was a long line, of course, to get into the pop-up. And, you know, every Swiftie was just singing along to the songs, including myself. So when it went to All Too Well 10-minute version and she sang, "You were tossing me the car keys," I had thought that everybody was going to scream, "Fuck the patriarchy." So here I am screaming, "Fuck the patriarchy" at the top of my lungs in an
As you should.
outdoor public space.
As you should.
And the
As God
security
intended.
guard comes right up to me and asks me to leave. And yeah, so I had to come back the next day and hide in plain sight. So I was able to enjoy the exhibit because I couldn't that day because I
Not the exhibit.
and caused a disturbance among the public. Love that. Hope you get a kick out of it, even if you don't use this in the podcast. Thank you guys. Bye.
Not they
Now,
kicked you
that's
out of the
wrong.
line before you could
No,
even
that's
go in.
wrong. Because it's in
That
the
is
song.
wrong.
I would have fought that. I would have said, sir, it's in the song. Are you aware
You're
of Taylor
playing the
Swift?
song.
Are
You're playing
you
the
aware
song.
of the patriarchal society in which we live in? And you're going to say, yes, patriarchy? Is that what you're going to say, sir?
You should
I
have
don't
just
think
kept
so.
saying. You should have kept saying it. You should have said it louder, and you should have said it again. And my question is, did all the other Swifties just decide to go on mute? Is there some unspoken censorship of the Grove that everybody knows about that you just weren't informed? Because it sounds like everyone was singing, and then it was just you.
Well, here's the thing that kills me is that I've heard from other people in LA to not go to the Grove. So
Yes,
this is
that's the only
very
thing I ever
interesting.
hear.
This is
Is
very
don't
interesting
go,
that she
don't
was
go,
like,
don't
you
go,
gotta
don't
go.
go.
You gotta go.
Well, you're
It's
not
like,
painting
well,
a pretty picture. Well, what if I say, I don't know, what if I decide to let a swear loose? Am I going to get kicked out of the Grove?
they're gonna kick you out.
In Sephora, I'm going to
Kick you
say,
out.
damn,
She-
Madeline,
why did
this
she have
drunk
to
elephant
come back?
moisturizer is so fucking expensive. Out. Get out.
Your out of here.
Take you in your
Can't say
sailor's
that.
mouth and
You
get
can't
out.
say that. Not around
Can't
here.
say that at the
Mm-mm.
Grove. The Grove
Mm-mm.
is a totalitarian society. The Grove is always posting.
It's not right. I went to
That's
a
wrong that
a
happened to you. That's
Grove
really wrong.
adjacent location in London, and I was like, "This is like the Grove." So I mean,
Did
there's
you
nothing. There's
get
nothing wrong with
kicked
the
out of
Grove.
it?
No. I was hitting the hooch though. I'll tell you that for free. I got kind of drunk that day at the
I feel
London
like
Grove.
other Swifties should have stepped up and supported you in that moment. Strength in numbers.
Well, if the choice is I get to see the exhibit or I get
We
kicked
know what
out
they're
with the girl
choosing.
who wants to take a political stand at the Grove,
We know what we're
then I
choosing.
am saying I choose exhibit every time. I
Mhm.
also love
Yeah.
to use the term exhibit. I think that's hilarious for what that was.
It
The
was an exhibit.
It's
It
an
literally-
exhibit.
Meanwhile, it's literally like a shelf and like plaster figurines
I
with
still
a
remember
baseboard
the video of Jake Shane
and typos.
investigating it like it was the Clue board game.
Like he
I
was
like,
Lady
what?
Gaga at the Capitol building looking for bullet holes.
That was classic.
All right, let's go to someone who reaped their karmic reward.
Hey Snakes, so this is a story all the way back from 2019. This is horrible. I can't believe I'm telling this. So I remember when Loverfest tickets had come out. I did not get any. And I remember my friend and I were golfing, and she was telling me she was so excited she got 2 tickets for her and her mom. They were going to go. And I was just a horrible 13-year-old and was like, how can I get these tickets somehow? And I remember being on that golf course and being like, oh yeah, Lover is just like the worst album ever made. It's like too bubblegummy and it's just like so tacky. Like I can't believe you didn't want to go to that. And I tried to make her feel bad for getting the tickets. And then I had convinced her to sell them to my family. So I had bought her Loverfest tickets because I convinced her the album wasn't good. Ooh. And I think my bad karma was Loverfest being canceled, but this is probably the worst thing I've ever done as a person.
You know what I have to say about that?
That's really bad.
It reeks of not being true to me. It sounds like one of those made up stories. You were 13 saying that Lover was bubblegum and tacky? I don't think so. I think you were 13 and saying, I probably think you're going to find
No. Either way, something ain't right. Something ain't right with what just happened. You're 13 scamming your friend
and she
out of
sells them
tickets
to
to
your
a show
family?
that she was. What
You
family?
told her how bad it is. Why is she selling
your
them to
family
you if
know?
you're talking
Does
about how
your-
bad they are?
Does your family know about this? Do they know what you've done?
Do we
Do
need
they
to let
know
them
that they should
know?
be ashamed of their son? I'm asking
Do
you.
they exist?
I'm asking you.
Did these tickets exist? Is this a real story? That's what I'm taking from this.
This is not good. That was not good. What you did,
Either
you did a bad
way,
thing. You did a
you
wrong
did a bad thing, or you called in and lied, which is also a bad thing. So, you know,
You did a
I
bad
mean,
thing.
if I was the security guard at the
And
Grove,
you know what
I would
time
be
of year
getting
it
you
is?
and taking you out.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So
He
coal,
knows if you said Lover was a
lump of
bubblegum
coal,
pop tacky album.
lump of coal. Enjoy that, sir.
Let's go to another gorgeous, ruinous story from the Eras
Snakes,
Tour.
it's Nicholas. I will be at Evolution of a Snake Live, DC Night 3, at the Washington DC Stadium, whatever that's called. So excited. Gonna get meet and greets, but still I'm like so excited for the show. My humiliating Taylor Swift story is when I was at the Eras Tour, and there was just like, I think someone snuck into our row too, and so it was really cramped. And Reputation, Ready For It came on, and I started to jump, and I started to jump and jump and jump because it's Ready For It. And so there was some water on the ground, and I literally ate on the ground and landed right on this girl's adorable, like, bejeweled cow. Oh my god, this sounds so bad. Cowgirl hat, and like there was like big dent in it, and a bunch of jewels came off, and I actually felt so bad. It was so humiliating, and this was like at the beginning of the tour, like the first US leg, so I still had like about 2 hours left with this girl, and the side eyes she gave me for the rest, I can't. It was so humiliating, and I had to spend the rest of the night with her. But yeah, I love you guys. See you soon. Goodbye.
She was definitely wishing death upon you, for sure.
That's not right. That I feel like because I understand her being upset, but it's like, come on. I mean, it wasn't on purpose. And like, as long as you like apologize, like, oh, I'm so sorry. Was it like handmade? If so, I think she's okay. If she bought it for thousands of dollars, sure.
That's
but, like,
on you,
come on.
Queen. Don't bring it to the Eras Tour.
Yeah.
My thing about that is I think that you should not. I hate people that wear cowboy hats to the Eras Tour. And I know that they believe they have a right to exist, but they block other people's view with their gargantuan hats. So I think it's annoying to wear hats to the Eras Tour. So if you bring your hat, it's on you, whatever happens to it. If you bring a flag, it is liable to being snatched out of your hands by me. I did that at the Eras Tour. Anything that obstructs anyone else's view, you're the worst for having that. So at least the hat was on the ground. I'll give her that. The hat was on the ground, but maybe it was her karmic reward for wearing a hat in the first place.
Yeah, whatever happened to wearing cowboy hats that had the little strings on it so you could wear them on your neck? You know, when you push them back and they hang on the back of your neck? See, now that's what real cowgirls are doing, and you guys wouldn't know about that. When I went to Seattle, it's not as bad when you're in the stands because then they're not right in front of you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
staggered.
staggered.
I was behind this kid who was wearing a cow print little cowboy hat, and it's in all of my videos, and it kind of makes me really happy. I actually love that. It's so cute. And he was dressed as like, it was kind of like a Woody from Toy Story outfit with his little cow. It was cute. Anyway, just to say, I understand what you're saying, but I support cow print.
You support hat.
I support hat in the stands. I can't speak to on the floor because I haven't been behind somebody with a cowboy hat on the floor.
Hat on the stands, I also support. Okay, but you know, anything else, you're going to jail. Here is one, an old school one that I think you and I can relate to.
So something very embarrassing for me, not tour related, but retrospectively, embarrassing is thinking back to when I was all but 12 years old in the prime of the Fearless era, crying over my 6th grade boyfriend who had moved away with his military family. And so what did you do? Not move on. You were 12. You held hands in the bus loop. It was love. And so what do? You draw pictures of girls crying and trees and random shit with lyrics to Breathe by Taylor Swift and other sad Fearless era songs, and you mail them to the boy.
No.
And then he ghosts you forever, only to come back in sophomore year to tell you, hey, we were really weird when we were kids. I'm not really sure what to make of that. But yeah, these are the things I have to live with.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He clocked you. Your T was clocked in such a way.
Clocked you so
it's
bad.
like to all the boys I've loved before, but way more embarrassing. And I don't think you got your Peter Kavinsky at the end. I don't think that happened.
Mm-mm.
So I'm praying for you, my friend. It was fine up until mailed. I was like, it's over.
It's over for you. But well, the rest of it were like normal. Check, check, check. Did that, did that,
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
It's when you start to externalize these things that it
When the
becomes
stamps
wrong.
start coming out. When you start stamping things, that's when it's gone too far.
Using Taylor as like a means of, you know, igniting terror among the people around you for wronging you is actually so real, and something I used to do all the time. I would do like cryptic Facebook status updates.
Oh yeah.
I was there when you said forever and always ... Who could it be about? And then sometimes if I was really feeling crazy, I would do the arm lyrics and go to school, and it would say something really like dramatic or dumb.
I wonder how many people actually read them and were like, what the f is wrong with him?
You know what I did? I would have a fight with a friend, and it would always be, it's 2 a.m. feeling like I just lost a friend.
That's crazy.
So I understand. I understand. Breathe. The impulse to be melodramatic, to breathe. I really get it. You're telling me you didn't do anything like this?
I posted Facebook statuses for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't put arm lyrics of how I was feeling on my arms and then show up to school with them.
I was following mother's instructions.
I guess you could say that I wasn't brought up that way. You know, Ebeline comes home from school. I wasn't brought up that way.
Well, you know, I'm with you in your embarrassment. I feel you. I understand you. We're there. All right, let's do another one.
Hi, snakes. I'm Jafet. I'm a longtime listener. And my most embarrassing Swifty story is that actually for the Reputation release back in 2017, I went to her pop-up shop in downtown New York. And this was the day after she went on SNL. And it was very cold. I was in line for hours to get in. It was like the AT&T pop-up shop, whatever. And out of nowhere, Miss Taylor herself pulls up and starts taking picture with fans. And it was time for my picture. You know, it was like a ton of people. So she just like grabs my phone and, you know, we take the selfie. And then like, she was looking at me and I was looking at her and I wanted to say something like, I don't know, like I love you or something. And I just froze. And it was so awkward because she literally just looked at me for like 2 seconds and I was not able to say anything. So she just moved on to the next person to take other pictures. But I redeemed myself because I did have like a nice little conversation with Miss Andrea herself. And yeah, it was very nice.
I think that's many such cases. I think she's used to it. It's just like...
It's like staring at the eclipse with your bare eyes.
It's like,
you
look straight at it.
Like, ah!
She knows how to call it too. She's like, he's freaking out. Next.
Yeah, she knows.
Next.
And she's such a social person. I guarantee you she was not feeling any weird way about that. She was like, this person is completely overwhelmed by the fact that I'm the diva. And I know because I am the diva.
So I'm just going to scooch on over that way.
It must be weird to have that effect on people, though, to like literally render people speechless.
Taylor's interesting because it's been so long and her star power has been like the same, if not greater. It's only gotten worse, blah, 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 blah. So it's like,
but the fans have always been intense.
Used to it? Does she ever just go, eh? Or is it always
when she said her favorite sound was people screaming? It was like, okay. My favorite sound in the world, she said on the Fearless Tour, is the sound of 15,000 people screaming. I was like, okay, dictator vibes.
Let's
take that out of context.
Let's take that out of context.
That out of context. But you know what? I don't feel embarrassed. I feel like
not. She doesn't remember.
You got your picture with Taylor. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. And many people would kill to have an awkward moment with Taylor Swift. At least you had a moment.
At least you had a moment. All right. I think we have one last one to enjoy before we wrap up our last phone to speak.
So, hey snakes, this is Kimberly. So, My most humiliating Swifty moment is probably from before I was a Swifty. I was actually a Taylor Swift hater, and it all started because of Haylor. I was obsessed with Harry Styles, and she was dating Harry Styles. I was actually a Larry Stylinson fan, if you guys know what that is.
Do we know what that is?
So I was really against like seeing Taylor with Harry because it was going against the Larry Stylinson.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't like her for that. And then also like
Absolutely.
she was just dating like Taylor Lautner and all these like really like hot guys. So I was pretty jealous of her at the time. And I even did not like her probably up until Reputation was when I became a Swiftie, and I started to really see just how amazing she was, and that's when I became a full Swiftie. And I was like, oh my god, I am so embarrassed for literally being on Twitter in 2013 like hating on her, like being a part of the Directionaires hate Swifties part like trend on Twitter. So yeah, that is probably my most humiliating moment.
I probably told you to die at some point. We probably crossed paths on the internet.
You're brave to admit it, my friend. Kimberly, you are one of our bravest soldiers. You are a brave little toaster.
And there are many of people just like you out there who walk among us as Swifties now that won't tell the truth.
Many such cases. So you're brave. I support you 100%. It was Pretty Girl.
Everywhere.
Let's hate on her behavior. I get it. Been there, done that. So thank you for telling your story because it was brave and it was moving.
And you know what? I actually also have to blame you a little bit because I think that Larry's are part of the reason why we have gaylers. So
Larry's,
you suck.
You know, the thing about Larry's is they're like a really good thing to think about, like when we're going to think about what's going to be happening with Gaylerism in, I don't know, 10 years.
There you go.
It's going to be the same.
Your baby's fake. Your baby's plastic.
This is an animatronic baby.
That's not a joke, by the way. That's dead serious. But you know what? Many such cases of people that came around on Taylor after a long time, but fortunately for Madeline and I, we cannot relate.
No, I was there from day one. No, I was on the steed.
We bet on the winning dog immediately.
But I do have something like that. I used to hate when I was 14, 15, maybe when I was 16, but that's a little bit old. I hated Selena Gomez. That was my nemesis. Pretty Girl, let's hate on her. That's what it was.
That
was
literally Pretty Girl, let's hate on her. Pretty Girl,
let's hate on her.
Even when she became friends with Taylor, did you kind of change your mind then, or were you still like, I hate her?
I hated Selena, I want to say through the Fearless era. So yeah, she was friends with Selena by then. She was going on double dates with her. I think I hated her. Yeah.
It was Who Says at the Speak Now tour. Were you on board or were you kind of like neutral?
Oh, I was saying Who Says. No, Who Says is probably where it all started to change. I was saying,
well, yes.
Who Says? Who Says? Because then I was like, you know what? Pretty Girl is...
Pretty Girl saying she's not pretty in a song?
To the plight. Okay. She's sympathetic to the plight of the ugly. And so for that, I do have to say, let's go.
Pretty Girl featuring Ugly Girl. We love it.
Yeah, so I was converted by the time Speak Now was happening. I was like, I like Selena. And then I started to really like Selena more and more. So there you go.
I hated Justin Bieber because I didn't want to seem gay. I was like, if I like Justin Bieber, then I'm gay.
You're 11 stabbing people to get front row.
This is later. This is later. This is like 3 or 4 years later. I'm like 15 at this point.
Yourself. It's the Justin
people don't know
Bieber.
That I'm gay.
It's the Justin Bieber that's gonna make them think that I'm gay.
It's
not
like
the
they're gonna ignore the pink
Avril
streak
Lavigne.
I put in my hair for Girlfriend Live. There were many. You know what? The deranged teenage brain thinks that it can keep certain things to itself. By the way, I was fully obsessed with Taylor Swift at this point, like 13 on my hand, arm lyrics on my arm. So I don't know how hating Justin Bieber made me less gay, but it did.
It did.
Did I have the same haircut as him? Well, yes.
Well, you did actually, and that always, whenever I see the picture, I'm like,
it was
Justin.
the same.
Hi,
to
Justin.
be fair, I had it before him. I had it.
Say that.
Before him.
No, he got his hair from you. I think we should have that conversation.
Exactly. Period.
Yeah, say that.
Well, that's it for our last Phone a Snake of the year. We have had so much fun making this a monthly segment, and we know that you guys love it too. There will be a bonus episode where we discover more of your Eras Tour memories up on the Patreon right now. We will see you. I think we're not going to be having a public episode the week after you listen to this. Or maybe we've already had our week off. I don't know. So it's usually business as usual. There will be 1 week in 2024 where you don't hear from us, but that's it. You need to go to evolutionofasnake.com and get your tickets to the Snares Tour to hear this live.
Imminently.
Come and confess your sins. Come and tell us that you were a Larry Stylinson fan.
Yeah, say that to her face.
Love ya.